we generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. Those
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology,
but we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very crowded.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change gear.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
Within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs and there was no looking back.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. Good morning to the 50th episode and the last and final episode for this season. My name is Ajit Panikar, and I've been an Ascent member for over 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host is Aleem. How are you doing, Aleem? All set for the last show?
Absolutely, and Ajit, you are bright and chirpy today. So, introducing myself, my name is Aleem. Aleem Merchant. I run an advertising and marketing company here in Mumbai called Synapse. And yes, 50 was the number we were targeting, and finally we got there.
Yeah, and we got there without missing a single Friday. Every Friday at 11 a.m. for the last 1 year. And some of you who don't know about Ascent, Ascent is a non-profit organization that helps entrepreneurs grow their business. It was founded by Harsh Mariwala in 2012 and has helped close to about 900 entrepreneurs. Ascent's key feature is its trust groups, where entrepreneurs can share experiences and ideas. And Ascent Talks, we've been hosting now for the last 1 year, is a weekly show which showcases the Ascent journey, Ascent members' journey. And today we don't have a speaker. So, Ali, you want to introduce to our viewers what are we going to do in the next 30 minutes?
Absolutely. You know, they say that don't live the same week 52 times a year and then call it a year, So we lived a fantastic year, and today we're going to go down memory lane and we're going to see what exactly happened in those 49 episodes. We're going to summarize it for you. We're going to celebrate some of the lovely speakers we had. And I think it's going to be a show where you'll know a little about Ajit and me also today.
Yeah. So Ali, I think before we actually get started and take the people through the memory lanes of the 52 speakers that we've had on our show, yes, what are your thoughts on this journey here?
On the journey of Ascent Talks. So it's simple, I learned one very important thing about Ascent Talks, and that is that, I'm an idea guy. I don't focus a lot about execution. And I learned one thing from you, Ajit, is that execution is everything. And while you came to me with the idea, I mean, this whole show belongs to you, to be honest. You came with the idea and you execute precisely. And I think this 1 year, I really learned how precisely you execute. And obviously, I learned a lot from all the entrepreneurs in the show. But one of my biggest inspirations from the show was you. And, I'm not buttering you up. This is not part of the script, but I thought I should tell you this.
The South Indian in me, makes me feel, that, I should be very humble, it goes be simple type, so when you get credit, but I've got a lot of Panju friends, and they're like, it's good, might as well enjoy the whole credit. But honestly, for me, the last 49 episodes, that's almost 52 speakers that we've had, has been a fabulous thing. It's been a lot of learning. Personally for me, I love the whole fact that, during the whole, before you have a speaker, you kind of get to research on each speaker. So every week for me to just go around research, and, it's a big learning. Do you know the amount of information that you can get about yourself and your industry just online? You're already out there. And I'm saying this at a time when the data privacy law in this country has just been passed by the parliament. But forget about the privacy law. You go out there, do a search, and consciously pick a person and see the amount of content that is there. You will be amazed at the amount of information that is there online for you to do. So that was a fabulous journey. And it helped us put the questions together, make sure each show was as unique as you can get into, and the amazing discovery of talents among all the entrepreneurs. So even listening to some of these speakers, and I think we had the ability to bring the human side of a lot of the entrepreneurs. So to all our viewers, what we're really going to do is we are going to take you down through a memory lane of some of the finest clips of learnings from various entrepreneurs. So hold your breath and and if you missed any of the episodes, all the episodes are there on all the podcast channels. They're on the YouTube. They're on this LinkedIn page. You'll find it on Insta. You'll find literally think where you want to see, wherever you're comfortable with, and you can go. And in fact, most of the shows on the podcast have been doing very well, whether it's Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts or Amazon. Get out there and search for it, and you will get it. But here are some of the finest clips and some of the finest things that the entrepreneurs who came on board and who spoke about it. So there you go.
2008, when the Mumbai attacks were happening, and we were playing around with this technology since 2004. So we realized that at that time, when the naval helicopters were looking at the third and fourth floor of the Taj Hotel, trying to see what's happening inside, we felt that drones could have done that job far more inconspicuously, and therefore we thought that it's a good time to take the tech that we were having a lot of fun
The
with.
industry has been blamed for a lot of pollution, the biggest pollution, everything, but they don't understand that the transportation is also huge. But still, yeah, there's a big drive of decarbonization, and that's where we are working a lot. How do we reduce carbon emissions from the ships? So that means we are designing electrical boats, electrical ships. We are also designing methods of improving the existing ships to reduce the carbon.
Shark Tank is a real show. Okay, everything happens real over there. There is no retake because inside for 2 hours, imagine you're standing and you're answering, and all you have in your mind is that I have worked in this business for 6 hours, and right now I'm standing over there to get a confirmation that what I'm doing is good.
Brands. So we've tried to become more organized. Today, I would say about 20% of the industry is organized, but 80% of the business or the industry is still unorganized. And that's where lies the opportunity.
जैसे फार्मर फाइनेंसिंग कैन बिकम अ वेरी बिग बिजनेस. अभी तो फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है इंडिया में, और एज पर सेंट्रल बैंक लाइक आरबीआई the 18% portfolio should be in agriculture. Every bank is seeking for priority sector lending. So any company who is into farmer financing, develop expertise, can become $1 billion company.
Impact says that, okay, look, I want to start an organization which actually helps society but earns money. Classic case would be, let's say, an entrepreneur which I supported, which started these solar lamps, which he sells to villagers. So
we saw a lot of companies that had businesses that was successful out in the West, but had an Indian twist. So for example, Flipkart was Amazon plus COD. Right? It needed an Indian twist. Naukri was Monster plus searching.
Tata and Moj put together have 400 million active Indian users right now. And we don't even know about it. If you look at it globally right now, TikTok is kind of number one.
The time you would have spent being completely away from your business, just being blank, that is the time you're thinking of your growth, you're thinking of your business. It's that time when you're not doing anything, that is the time. So entrepreneur is always, we might work 2-3 hours, but we think 24 hours.
I feel most of the industries think of audiovisual or video more as a marketing exercise and haven't really taken the content into every aspects of their communication. So that I find is video, then layer it up with some AI and technology, which means your content is going to become each and every aspect of communication.
So it was a lot of hustling for me, running around during the day, going for meetings. I used to go with that really pathetic college bag to meetings, and clients would be like, who the hell are you? And if you're in college, what are you really doing? Why are you even asking us for our business?
Not everyone is on the sync, right? कि भाई अभी race करना है, इतना dilute करना है. So, getting everyone on the same page, looking at the same vision that, okay, it's just not about the money, but getting the right partners who will take us to the next level.
So mine has helped me understand that being rebellious in a family managed business doesn't work. So what you have to really do is you have to understand everyone's needs. You have to see bhai logo ko kya chahiye. You have to put in the right questions into their head so that they sort of agree to what you want to do into the business. And that's where actual things get executed.
The second product we launched, Protect, brilliant product to take care of hangover. And it failed because it worked too well. Everybody who had my product went home and they didn't have the high end.
Saying no to customers was a challenge in the sense that it was not a challenge for me. But to the elder generation is, Arey Baba, Lakshmi ko kabhi na nahi bolte. And I'm like, no, you got to say no sometimes. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not going to bend over backwards unreasonably.
So when I'm working in the business, I believe I am indispensable to the business. So that's always the case at which you begin it. But when you start working on the business, you start working on the models, you realize that there are functions where people have to be better than you. That is the kind of people that you have to get in. So if you get a design head, if you get an operations head, you should understand that they can deliver better in those little functions than you.
Should look at what's in it for me. That clarity has got to be there. Otherwise, even one day before going live and maybe even after going live, you will have a whole bunch of stakeholders across the organization. Why are we doing this? What is the purpose? Iska kuch hone wala hai?
So succession plan has been, for me, very useful. Ascent has been great for me there. And the big learnings are, you have to start doing it much earlier, and the conscious decision has to come from you.
When we did the market study way back in 2003, and when you dialed the number 102, guess where it went? Ali, Ajit, any guesses? Actually, was mapped to a crematorium.
Oh my God.
Because the reality was people only called for ambulances when somebody was dead.
And then there was no turning back. From Singapore to Malaysia to Hungary to Turkey to Oman to Argentina to US. And then you'll not believe we were only in one country, which is India. Because of COVID, we became global.
If we can give that environment to our team members to think independently, freely, without having much of fear of consequences, slowly but surely they'll get to a point where they can manage and handle a lot of stressful scenarios and pressure situations before court in transaction for our clients.
So the money goes there completely. So we realize that we are playing a wrong game. We are playing a game of scalability, which is not right. We have to then focus on per seat revenue, and that's when we decided. So till then we were into a very low billing processes like insurance. Mostly insurances is what we are catering to. And then we decided that we need to increase our revenue per workstation because that's our product. Per seat is our the seat is our product. So that's when we changed the entire ball game. We moved to real estate. Then we decided that okay, Bombay mein aur kya ho sakta hai jahan pe ticket size could be.
Heard the most abused word called digital transformation. Everybody around your nearby will actually start resonating on this word, but essentially this is a business transformation. So organizations do not really care whether you bring a new technology, new framework. All they wanted is how much profitability do I make?
Fine. But one fine day, the customer just called up and said, boss, sorry, now the business doesn't continue. You will have to hold your supplies. And we had a lot of, almost 70 lakhs of raw material, 70 lakhs of outstanding, and a property whose EMI had to be paid.
My laptop, 10:30 was the time, and everyone in the Eastern Zone had submitted their resignations. I had few lakhs of goods right from Durg, Roorkee, Bhubaneswar, Calcutta. We didn't even know what were the places we had supplied at the time. Entire Eastern group was headhunted by somebody.
And I went through some, major detachment.
because in process of wrapping my mind around alienating from my children, I sort of developed a detachment with my business also at the same time. And the entire way the family business is structured is, inheritance is a very big part of your business, right? And many often the people who are in the business, they are like, nahi, hum to aage ki generation ke liye kar rahe hain. Okay. And then suddenly the aage ki generation was nowhere in the picture. Okay. I couldn't see them only. And so the entire purpose of doing the business went for a toss in my case.
I was detected with the cancer, and it was 100% life-threatening cancer. So the things were very much different. The most challenging thing was to hand over my part of business. I being the key person, I have my own commodities to deal in, and my job was like the top priority from my family and for myself was to start my treatment within 74 hours.
Amazing. I was like, that was really good. But which one was your kind of a favorite one, man? I mean, I know you discussed almost after every one.
That's a tough question. But I'll tell you, there were 3 buckets that I kind of put everyone in, and one was ideas. I think I realized all entrepreneurs had ideas, whether it was Ankit with the drone or, farmer financing by Amit or, everybody had ideas. The second one was basically bravery. You see bravery coming from Jamin, who had cancer, or you had bravery from Rahul Chandalia, who suddenly had the Shark Tank show, or you see Sujit with his bravery when suddenly his customer got wiped out, or Jatin when his product failed. So bravery was always there. Then there was discipline. You saw discipline in Dr. Arora, you saw discipline in Rahul, you saw discipline in all of them. So I think I saw ideas, bravery, discipline in all of them, and it was very, very inspiring. What about you, Ajit?
The big thing is, see, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I listen to a lot of. So often you're always listening to the Steve Jobs and the Elon Musk and the big guys, which is great, which is fantastic. But up to 60% you can relate. The balance 40% you don't, because you are not of that size. You are a regular. For me, this Ascent Talks has been, listen, I relate to everything that he says. Like for example, the vulnerability. We tend to always put a strong face around it, as to who we are. Your own CEOs, we give fancy titles to ourselves, and we forget the human face of ourselves. Like for example, the challenge that Unamalai spoke about. Walk into the office and I find my entire team has just put in a papers. A competitor has just poached the entire team. That's shocking. And we know at one point of time we've all gone through these stresses, or that Nikunj who says, that a very personal problem impacted his business. And he said that, I just lost focus of my business, and that whole purpose deserved. And look at the impact it could have in the whole thing. And I thought those were things that you really connected with, and you really feel that, listen, it's not the only challenge, that you're not the only one who faces that challenge. It's a common problem. And look at the way they have handled it. Look at the way they've come out of it. And that tends to be as a motivation actually to, for most of us. And that's a big learning. And I kind of connected with most of these speakers who came on board because their stories seem like, relatable. This is sometime that I have gone through, and it's very inspiring. So I guess that was that was my big takeaways, and I still love looking forward to that every week. But Ali, one of the questions that I really want to ask you is, you never done a talk show, right? Never in your life. So when we actually spoke about Ascent Talks, what was going on in your mind? In fact, I have a little surprise for you. I actually want to show I want to show the viewers. We still laugh at it, and I thought we should share about it. The first episode, okay? We just started off, and we'll take you through that first clip of that episode. And look at Aleem's face. Okay, this is the first time. This is the first time he's doing an episode live stream. Watch it out.
Position at some other times.
Hey, hello everyone. Hi Aleem, how are you doing today?
Hi Ajit, good morning. How are you?
Great. Good morning everyone, and welcome to our first episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit Panikkar, and I'm an Ascent member from 2012. And I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, an IT company in the air conditioning domain. And my co-host for the show is Aleem. Hi, Aleem.
Hi, Ajit. Hello, Centers. My name is Aleem. I run an advertising and marketing company in Mumbai called Synapse, and I've been an Ascent member since 2016, probably some of the nicest 5 years of my life with my trust group. So yes.
Awesome.
Yes, Ajit, over
To
to you.
everybody, yeah. So to all our viewers who's actually wondering what Ascent is all about, Ascent is a not-for-profit expression of Harsh Mariwala, who's a chairman with Marico Limited, and his passion to identify high potential growth stage entrepreneurs and enable them to grow their enterprise and enrich their entrepreneurial journey. Launched in 2012, Ascent today empowers more than 700 entrepreneurs across India. Ascent is designed as a unique, powerful, peer-to-peer platform that leverages the power of the collective through self-facilitated groups called trust groups, which enables entrepreneurs to share and exchange experiences, ideas, insights, and create a healthy ecosystem to learn from each other. Today's event, which is a weekly event every Friday at 11 a.m., Ascent Talks showcases Ascent members and their interesting entrepreneurial journey. So let's welcome our guest today, Ali.
So our guest for today is Gauri Devidayal, a law graduate, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales. 8 years after she pursued her career in PwC London, she decided to get into the restaurant business with her husband, Jay Yusuf. It was in this journey that she went on to take the Wine and Spirits Education Trust Level 3 exams. I hope I said that right. She there went on and launched multiple high-end restaurants, some of which it is impossible to get a reservation in unless you know Gauri personally. So this is one of our reasons of inviting her for this show, so that I get one reservation at table and also get some priority and some discount and one free dessert.
I feel so special now. Thank you guys for having me. Good morning, everyone on LinkedIn. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, so to start with, Gauri, do you want to actually tell our viewers what your business is all about, some of the client solutions? Please go ahead with that. So we get a background, our viewers get a background of what you've been doing.
So, of course, good morning, everyone. I got into the hospitality business about 12 years ago. But prior to that, I'm actually a law graduate, and I spent 9 years as a tax consultant with the big 4 firms and did my chartered accountancy. So, of course, going into restaurants was completely normal. But no, I think it was my husband who was going through a bit of a midlife crisis, and of course, decided that he wanted to open a restaurant, as do many, many people. And I decided to take a 1-year sabbatical from my job.
No.
So, at the end of the show, you are lost. And I tell the viewers, at this time, our man has got everything in front of him. He lost the flow of which paper to look at, and he is messaging from the side to me. He says, dude, I have no clue what's happening. What's happening? But from there, from being a first show, I think we kind of learned quite a bit over the last 1 year, man. Every Friday doing it, and brought it down to nailed it down to a process.
Yeah, well, that was a very embarrassing clip. I think let's just talk about T-50. So, Ajit, from when to get this idea of this show? I mean, you've done a lot of shows, so you can make fun of me. I'm still novice, and I still screw up. I'm sure if you look at 49 shows, also I've screwed up. But you're like perfect. But when did you get this idea of this live stream show and this Ascent Talks?
So for me, live stream started very accidentally during COVID times. You had nothing to do, and I was actually very active with the industry association. And our association was a very small association. We've been struggling to grow it. We just had about 120, 150 members. And very coincidentally, we had so much of time. And then I discovered that, these are, now, I see my kids actually playing with this YouTube, listening to some guy and everything. And I just caught my attention. I said, what is this here? And then I kind of did my research, and I started attending a lot of these shows from the US, which was happening. And how do you go about doing it? And I'll tell you, I just got into it, learned the tricks, and this is all in the midnight hours because you're watching a lot of the US shows. And I'll tell you what happened. When we ran multiple shows, I ran a show called as Business Chunautia for the industry. We started at about 200 members. But, by the end of 2 years, we were close to about 1,200 odd members and in 15 cities, all through COVID. That's when I realized that this is a huge, powerful tool which is being underutilized. So I kind of grew myself into it. And then then the whole idea is, that most of the shows that you come across, you see is, all properly done with a nice background, with a lot of mics and everything. But that is the old fashioned way. When my kids were watching these YouTube videos, very interesting. You must see the videos are just about themselves. They don't care. And I just say, look at the guy, what has he been wearing? So he says, who cares, Dad? I mean, it is just the content that matters for us. So I kind of realized that, that there is a big shift that's happening on that space. And, if you have got true great content and you can get there, and LinkedIn was a choice because we wanted certain kind of entrepreneurs who were forward thinking, who understood. So that's where this whole going live on LinkedIn came across. And we never looked back, right? I mean, and that's where the whole idea in the GC, when we were talking about, the GC is the governing council, both Alim and me had the responsibility of building events together to take the Ascent story out. That's how the idea came out. Why not do it on LinkedIn? Why not get our member story out so people understand who are the kind of people? And I guess we've never looked back. And over the years, then we decided to have the podcast out there. And today, the maximum listeners come from on the podcast to us. So it's amazing. And I guess that's where the whole journey of life to me. And I think it's going to become bigger and bigger the way I look at it. I do it even for my business. I've done multiple shows, and it just for Ascent Talks now, and it's great.
No, absolutely,
And
very inspiring. And I also feel the same way that now I should start my own podcast now that I've done all my hat dhowaing from here. But yeah. So Ajit, tell us
yeah.
about, we asked a lot of Ascent members about their Ascent journeys. Why don't you tell us about your Ascent journey?
So, so I got introduced very accidentally. I've been a member for almost 10 years now, and it's been a fantastic journey for me. I've met some really very good people, a team of 12 people whom we call as a trust group, and they've helped me. And I started a new IT venture post joining Ascent because I was able to brainstorm the idea. They were able to take me through the whole thing, and then at one point of time, they pushed me also into it. And that's a new venture that came out for me, and it's my go-to body, when I have challenges with my business. And and we had some great most of our viewers who came on, spoke about their journey itself. And let's show some of the clips of what our viewers had to speak about.
And I still remember 3 years ago, I started in 2018, and around 2020, just before the lockdown, we had a TG meeting in my office, and my wife and I run the business together. And she walked on at the end of the meeting just to say hello to my trust group members and thanked each and every one of them for the transformation in me as an entrepreneur after having joined Ascent. Because what Ascent provided me was my board of directors, my board of advisors who question me, who hold me accountable for my promise to become a better entrepreneur and to run the company better than I possibly can or I should. So that's how it started.
That's amazing. That's Praveen. He's just fantastic. That whole episode is a beautiful one. If you've missed it out, you should see it. But Alim, why don't you tell us about your journey? You've also been around for Ascent for quite some time. Tell us about your journey on Ascent.
6-7 years, Ajit, 6-7 years, and I was at a point where I realized that I could not relate with my school friends anymore. I could not relate with my college friends anymore. My business circle or whoever I was working around with were very superficial, and besides my wife and I, we really were lacking an entire social circle, and even somebody who we could just generally talk to. And Ascent just happened to me at that point of time. It was such a brilliant thing that happened. Within 1 year, we were close friends, and I was the facilitator in the first year itself. And my agenda was, can we all become close friends? So we did a lot of activities to become, very close to each other, so that we could start trusting each other. And today, 7 years later, I think we are so close to each other that we recently have been so closely knitted. We can just pick up the call and know that something is wrong, right, just from the tone of the voice. I think that's what Ascent has done for me. I mean, obviously it has helped in business, but I think what it does to me as a human being has been much impactful.
Yeah, and Hitesh, one of our speakers, also had to say this.
I entered into Ascent. I was interviewed for the first time, I would say, in a certain period of time, that somebody is interviewing me that I'm eligible for Ascent or not. And so Ascent has helped me introspect, what I have been doing. It has given me discipline. It has given me how I organize myself. I've learned from that. My TG group is Parivartan, and actual Parivartan has happened to me in this 3 years of Ascent.
That's it. All right. So we are almost close to our 30 minutes, as usual. So, but this is the final episode. This is going to be the last one. And if all of you have been thinking that it's just Ajit and Aleem, then there is a third person to the story, and we wanted to bring her on board so that you'll all know that there's somebody who is quietly at the backstage, puts this thing together. So that's Pankti from Ascent team.
Yay!
Welcome, Pankti.
Hi.
Well, so most of the viewers don't know who you are, and you are the one. So you want to tell us, Pankti, for the last 1 year, you coordinate everything at the backstage with the speakers, put everything together. Tell us about your learnings and what. Is it really easy to just coordinate with all these speakers and get them on time and make sure we don't miss a single episode?
Yeah, so I think I have reached out to closely 150, 200 entrepreneurs to make sure that we have 49 sets of episodes. Getting the dates is easy because, it's a Friday and we block the date. The getting tough part is the professional, the bio introduction, the photo and the template questions that we ask them to give us some information before we roll into the episode. So that has been a journey of follow-ups. And I think I'm famous for following up on a Saturday evening, on a Sunday evening, so that they give me their questions. So I think it has been interesting.
Fantastic.
That's
Pankti,
amazing.
I have one question, Ajit. I know this time is running out. Who is your favorite, Ajit or Ali?
I can't answer that.
Yeah, very diplomatically done. Very diplomatically done, Pankti.
I mean, that is like, it's like somebody asks my daughter, whom do you love, your mom or your dad? It's a rubbish question.
Sure, I like that. But Pankti, it's been great. To be very honest, it's not been an easy thing to put this thing together. We know the challenges that goes around putting these episodes every week. You've been at the backstage, you've been coordinated. So thank you very much for actually putting a fabulous show and supporting the show. This show couldn't have gone without your support.
It wouldn't. Yes, absolutely. So congratulations to you also.
Congratulations.
And look forward to season 2 whenever that happens. But tell us about Summit. I mean, I think we should end this thing because Ajit, if you remember, we used to ask the earlier speakers, the guests, that who are you looking forward to in this summit? So, we should talk about the summit. The summit is happening on.
Yeah, so Ali,
Go ahead.
you should share about the summit because this time it's different. It's not the conclave, it's a summit. So it's going to be only for the members. So tell us about it. Tell the viewers about the summit.
Yes. So, the most awaited event for Ascent has always been what we call the conclave, but this time we're calling it the summit. The summit is basically because it's a tighter group. It's very quality, only members group with some great speakers. There's going to be curated networking. There's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some great speakers. We're having Bhaskar Bhatt, who's the director of Tata Sons. He's actually built a large part of the businesses over there. He's going to share his success story. And one thing special about these conclaves or summits and all that is that they really open up to entrepreneurs. What they don't tell in the media, they come and tell over here. And I think those are the important pieces. There's Rishabh with Kanwaljit. They're going to be talking about a very interesting topic too, about venturing and capitals and stuff like that. There's Harsh, who's always going to be there and always look forward to his inspirational talk. So yeah, it's going to be a fun thing. And I think there's a very special episode called a special part called Ascent's Got Talent, and there's a lot of buzz happening on the WhatsApp groups around Ascent Got Talent because there are our own members going to be showcasing their talent, and I think there's going to be the entire stage waiting for them, the entire stage for Ascent members to showcase their talent. And we've seen some of it in our show. We've seen singers, we've seen people playing guitars, and I'm hoping there's going to be a live stand-up comedy and stuff like that also.
Well, Ali, I think Ascent Talks' biggest discovery has been that talent. I mean, we discovered it on the Ascent Talks, right? otherwise, it was surely always just business. But we discovered that whole human side of the entrepreneurs. And I'm glad that it's coming out as Ascent Got Talent in the summit. It'll be great fun. And I know some of them are brilliant about it. All right. Great. As usual, we are at the end of the show, but this time we are at the end of the season completely. So we kind of end our show today. So thank you very much for being with us. You can catch up all the episodes on all the social media, podcast channels, everywhere. And this is a wealth of learning and knowledge that's been there. So get out there, share it, hear it back again. And if you are an Ascent, if you're aspiring to be part of the Ascent journey, get to ascentfoundation.in, put in an application, and we'll be happy to reach out to you and make you part of our cohort. So that's about it for our 50th episode. And we're going to take a break. We have more time on our hand on Friday mornings now and over the week. And it's been fabulous bringing us, it's been fabulous bringing these 50 episodes to you every week. Hopefully, we'll catch up with you with another season. Whenever it comes out, you'll be informed. But thank you very much. And
Goodbye and
have a
see you at
wonderful
the summit. Yeah.
Yeah, and see you at the summit. See you at the summit. That's right. Bye bye, guys. See you. Bye, Panti. Bye, Ali. See you.
Bye. Bye.